crackers. Or how the 7 Network used my film footage off YouTube without acknowledging my footage under the Copyright Act 1968. So let's begin. Cracker Night at Burrill Lake, back in 1970. Remember Cracker Night? Empire Day, when it used to be the 24th of May, then the June long weekend? Remember the double bungers, even the penny bungers? And let's not forget the backyard bonfires. But wait a moment, hang on. Didn't I see that on June the 7th on Channel 7's flashback sequence about Cracker Night? Didn't I see that footage, which belongs to me? Under the Copyright Act 1968, there's a section called Fair Dealing where you can use footage and it's a relevant point, yada yada yada. But you should be acknowledged if you own that footage. I went through a mob called Free TV. Now this Free TV is nothing but a media setup to be the barrier for anyone who complains about problems with the media. How convenient. So therefore, by the time I got a response from the nameless 7 legal team quoting copyright and fair dealing, but what they conveniently left out was the fact that they should have acknowledged my footage, that I was the owner. And this they did not do when they screened the film. So exactly what did they do? Well, let's have a look.
On this night 29 years ago, an era came to an end. The last time when double bungers, Roman candles, Catherine wheels and blazing parachutes lit up the sky. Back when we were the ones allowed to set them off. So in memory of all those stolen childhood memories, our flashback celebrates Cracker Night. With sparklers in hand, families and neighbours came together around bonfires on the Queen's birthday weekend. The night had a soundtrack and a language of its own.
Stolen memories, hey Mark? Curious choice of words. And a language all its own? Well, not my language, because they removed my sound and put in their own. Now here we have the side-by-side comparison. Well, there's just no doubt about it. And this came out of a 3-minute segment, so they actually re-edited it as well and stuck their logo on it. Under the Copyright Act, they talk about a significant amount of film or image in reference to the story. I regard this as very significant because of the bonfire and the people around the bonfire. It was the whole point of the story of the flashback sequence. Without it, it would have been pretty much zip. Now, interestingly, of course, they're trying to back out of this like nobody's business. Fair dealing they're quoting, but they're not quoting the complete Copyright Act in their letters because they should acknowledge my footage and they have not done this. So let's go back to see what happened when I actually contacted Channel 7, and this is for historical accuracy, of course. Oh yes, look, there was a segment on the Channel 7 News last night, a flashback segment featuring Cracker Night. And I'm just wondering if I can talk to the person who produced that segment.
Oh, it's on the news, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, certainly. Did you have an inquiry or what was Well, the inquiry is the fact that the footage they use belonged to me.
Okay,
And nobody asked me or told me about it.
Okay, and what was the segment regarding?
It was called Flashback and it was regarding Krakenite.
Krakenite.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on a news broadcast. Okay, and what state are you calling from?
New South Wales.
New South Wales. Okay, so you own that footage?
Well, yeah, I've got it on YouTube and I'm looking at the segment and I'm thinking, oh, well, this looks pretty good. Geez, that looks familiar. And I'm thinking, I know that footage. It's mine.
Oh, okay, all right, sure, just a moment. Can I take down your details? I'll send it through to the newsroom.
Mm-hmm.
What was your name, sorry?
My name is Alan Bond, ALANBOND, and no, it's not that one.
Number?
Yes, the number is...
So I gave her my phone number.
I'll send this through for you. Also, I'll let you know if you want to lodge a formal complaint, you can send a letter in. But I will pass this on for you, okay?
Yep, I will wait to hear first. I'll give them because it's a holiday today, but I'll give them a day or so. But yes, I'm aware that I can put a complaint in.
Yes, certainly. No, I'll pass it on for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, let's see what happened.
What I wanted to do was give him a chance, so I waited a day, and then the following day at the same time I rang again.
Your call may also be recorded for training and monitoring purposes.
Same here. Yeah, my name's Alan Bond. I rang yesterday morning in regards to a Sunday news item at the end of the program called Flashback Krakenite, and I left my details and I was waiting for someone to ring me back. It's 24 hours. I'd like to speak to someone there responsible.
I've got your email here, has been sent and forwarded to our legal team.
Sorry, the legal what email?
There was an email you rang yesterday.
Yeah, that's a phone call.
That's right, you rang yesterday. Yeah, that's right. And we've sent your information passed on for you.
You just said passed it on to a legal team. Why should you send it on to a legal team? I just want to speak to the producer of that segment. Hello?
So you've been given the complaints procedure?
Oh, yes, I can go on a complaints. Yeah, I can do a complaints procedure, but I wish to speak to the person who produced that sequence.
I've sent your details through, but I'm not able to transfer the call.
Why can't you transfer the call?
I'm not able to do that.
I didn't ask that. I just asked you why.
Complaints procedure.
Well, yeah, it could be a complaint, but not until I've spoken to the people to see what they've said, which I think is only reasonable. I mean, I'm being reasonable about this and ringing up to speak to them.
Yeah, I understand. And what I can do for you is forward this email back onto them and say that you've called again.
Okay, can I get a copy of this email?
No, I'm not allowed to send it through to you.
Okay, so I can't speak to anyone there at all?
No.
Why is this? What if I was ringing up and giving a news item or something?
I'm following company procedure. What I'll do is I'll forward the email again for you and ask them to return your call.
Okay, I guess that's all you can do. I am waiting. Thank you.
That's okay. Thank you. Bye, Alan.
Bye.
But they never did return my call. Instead, finally I had to put a complaint in through 3TV. And to make a long story short, a few days later I got a reply from the 7 Network's legal team. Well, there you are, legal team. And they acknowledged the fact that they used the footage and they could understand my concern because they too have a lot of problems with copyright. I wonder why. And they sympathise and yada, yada, yada. And in the end, they said they could use it because of the Copyright Act and fair dealing. But in actual fact, they were also supposed to give me acknowledgement under that Copyright Act, and they did not. Nor did they even mention it in their email. Interesting. Recontacting Free TV, saying I was not satisfied with the reply. I said that I should have been acknowledged. And anyway, a further reply from the Seven legal team was that they were very sorry. They knew I was upset, blah, 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 but they did the right thing, sort of. And as you can see, they said that the very brief amounts used were insubstantial uses, but they were a very relevant point to the whole story, showing actual footage of a bonfire and letting off fireworks. And to use my footage shows you how rare that footage is. And that, to me, is a very substantial use of my property. They also pointed out they would not use it again. However, this footage I have with their little logo was on the World Wide Web the next day. So there you are. It was obviously screened again and could be seen anywhere in the world. And this I take as rather derogatory, for the simple reason my YouTube channel has had over 1,700,000 views and climbing all the time. And I find it very detrimental to my worldwide reputation for producing fine little films. So therefore, following along a suggestion from Channel 7, I contacted the Intellectual Property Awareness of the Attorney General's Department and also the Australian Media Communications Authority, and they basically came back with, well, get a solicitor and go to court, which was really, really helpful. So much for those departments. Back in late 2011, Channel 7 with this guy, I think his name's James Thomas, and Channel 10 and Channel 9 invaded my property, making accusations based on absolutely no evidence, physical evidence, documentation whatsoever, all at the behest of a person of local dubious quality. And as you can see, there's a cameraman there filming, but they can't film on your property unless you give permission, and they never ask. So it would seem that they can do this, but are quite happy not to acknowledge your rights under the copyright law if they take your footage. And it seems that the only moral to the story is the fact that there is no moral, because there's no morals. And there's no morals in the media. This proves it. And this is the only way I can present my case. I can't take him to court. I couldn't afford it. And I mean, you're dealing with Kerry Stokes and his organisation and the nameless legal team. I thought Kerry Stokes was an honourable man, but it would seem he has dubious people working for him. So all I can do is put the evidence together, present it to the world, and see what the world thinks. And remember, if your place ever gets invaded or you are accused of anything by the media, request documentation. I should have done that. And know that they need your permission before they film on your property, which I didn't know at the time. Because what they accused me of turned out to be completely baseless. No proof, no evidence, all made up by a local dubious developer, and which led to, well, actually leads to another story which hopefully will be up soon. Keep an eye out for Cubbygate. Thank you for viewing.